Good morning, students. Welcome to online session of Social Sciences. Last two classes we are studying chapter 4th of Geography. The name of that chapter is Air Surrounding the Earth. Before starting the third and the last part of this chapter, first we have a small recapitulation. Means what we have studied in previous classes. In previous classes, we have understood about the atmosphere as the earth is surrounded by an envelope consisting of layers of gases collectively called the atmosphere. Then we have studied composition of atmosphere as we are having 21% of oxygen, 78% of nitrogen and 1% of other gases. Then after that class we have studied about structure of the atmosphere, and under that we have studied 5 main layers of atmosphere. That first was troposphere, second stratosphere, third mesosphere, fourth thermosphere, fifth exosphere. After that we have studied about weather and climate, then differentiation we have studied, and after that temperature of the atmosphere and the factors affecting the temperature. After that we have studied temperature zone. We are having three kinds of zones. Temperature zone, first is torrid zone, second is temperate zone, and third is frigid zone. In today's class we are going to understand about atmospheric pressure. Air, like other physical substances, it also has weight. Students, do you know the weight of dry air? The weight of dry air is 1.2 ounces per cubic foot of air. Now, since the air is found layer upon layer, and since these layers have weight, they exert means they put forth enormous pressure. Enormous means very great pressure on the surface of the earth. Now the pressure at any point on the surface of the earth due to weight of overhead column of air is called atmospheric pressure. Now we are having some characteristics and effects of atmospheric pressure. Now air pressure like temperature decreases with heat above sea level. In previous classes we have understood regarding the temperature, how or when we are moving towards or in altitude, the temperature decreases. Okay. Now the temperature you feel every day is the temperature of the atmosphere. The degree of hotness and coldness of the air is known as temperature. Now air expands on heating, rises up and occupies large space. Cold air on the other hand contracts, becomes heavier and sinks. Now these characteristics of air under varying conditions of temperature and pressure greatly influence the weather and climate. Now here it is written regarding the air pressure. One question I want to ask, that have you ever feel the pressure? No or yes? Okay, you will be surprised to know that air above us presses us with a great force on our bodies. However, we don't even feel it. This is because the air presses us from all directions and our body exerts a counter pressure. We don't feel that air pressure because the pressure inside our body balance with the atmospheric pressure surrounding us. Now differences in air pressure are responsible for movement of air horizontally. Air always blows from high pressure to low pressure area. This is because air under pressure will always seek to escape to an area of lower pressure. Now we will learn about winds. The horizontal movement of air is called wind, or you can say the movement of air from high pressure area to low pressure area is called wind. Now some winds blow regularly from from high to low pressure areas, whereas some winds blow in particular region. Some winds are also change their direction on account of presence of high mountains or atmospheric disturbances. Wind belts. Now there are some major factors that is influencing winds. Which are the factors? First is temperature, second pressure, third relief, fourth land, and fifth is water bodies. Now at the global level, based on the temperature and pressure, winds can be broadly divided into three belts. Now which are the three belts? First belt is permanent wind, second belt is periodic winds, third is local winds. This is the diagram of major pressure belt and wind system. Now let's see, as you all know that earth is divided into two parts. Okay, generally we are knowing as that northern part and southern part. How it is divided? It is divided on the basis of this equatorial low pressure. We are talking about wind, so that is the earth is divided into two parts on the basis of equatorial low pressure, that you call equator also. Now when see, the upside it is having that north pole, down it is south pole. Now see, there are different kinds of pressure belts are there in wind system. First of all, as we are moving upside, northeast trade winds is there, and down here it is southeast trade winds. After this, subtropic high pressure, also called horse latitude, here also. Then prevailing western lines, subpolar low pressure, polar easterlies, and high pressure near the north pole and south pole. Now we will learn something about permanent winds. There are three types of permanent winds, that is based on the direction which they blow. First is trade wind, second westerlies, third easterlies. They are known for their consistency. Consistency means the quality of always having some standard. Okay. The major influencing factor is pressure here. These permanent winds are also known as planetary winds because they blow over the whole planet. Now we are having this one diagram here. You can easily see how many there are many different types of winds. Okay, some are blowing northeast side, some are blowing southeast side, and they are called northeast trade, southeast trade, easterly, polar easterly, and many are there. Next is periodic winds. Now these winds blow in a definite direction during the particular season. Okay, for this reason they are also known as seasonal winds. Two examples are here, that monsoon wind and land and breeze winds. They are example of periodic winds. Now during the day, air gets heated over the land and expands and rises. This attracts cooler air from the sea to take its place. This incoming onshore breeze is known as sea breeze. During the night, exactly the opposite happens. What happens there? At the night, outgoing air starts moving from land to sea. Now this offshore breeze is known as land breeze. Why? Because that wind is blowing from land. And why that previous one it is called sea breeze? Because that wind is blowing from sea. Now we are having one comparison here. This one. This is the difference between land breeze and sea breeze. Winds move from, in that land breeze, winds move from land to sea at night, and sea breeze, winds move from sea to land during the land. Now what is the second difference? Second is these are dry winds and are comparatively weaker, and sea breeze these are moisture laden, means they are having some moisture there, with the some breeze becoming stormy in tropical areas. Third is they do not have much effect on the temperature on land. Why? Because that air it is blowing from land to breeze, so there will be no any kind of effect or result on land or its temperature. Sea breeze, third one is they have a cooling effect on coastal land, making weather pleasant. Now as in sea breeze, that it is coming from seaside, so it is making that coastal land very cool and making the weather very pleasant or good. Before this we are having one diagram picture here. This is the picture of land breeze and sea breeze. Now see, this is the at night. What happens at night? Here air moves in this way, means it is moving from sea to land likewise, and from again from land to sea it is going. Now second, that is what's happening day, that air moves in anti-clockwise mean in opposite direction, from land to sea it is going, and after that sea to land it will come. So this is the main difference between land breeze and sea breeze. Now next topic is monsoon. So monsoon are also land and sea breezes, but that is on a very large scale. This monsoon blow in a distant climate regions like Indian subcontinent, which is in the subtropical and tropical zone. These monsoons are very good example of wind movement. Monsoons greatly influence India's agriculture and people's lifestyle. Now as you know that large part of population that is depending on agriculture in India, and this monsoon is helping a lot. After the coming of monsoon only that agriculture can be successful, and people's lifestyle is also affected by monsoon. Why? As the weather will be good, monsoon will be there, people will come out for enjoying that weather. Okay. Next is local winds. Now they blow only during a particular period of the year in a small area, influenced mostly by local relief. There are three main kinds of local wind. First is Chinook. Chinook means that wind that is blowing over Rockies and Alps. Harmattan, that is over west coast of America. And third is hot and dry Lu, that is in northern plains of India. Cyclones, the variable winds which change their direction and are not regular and generally associated with cyclone. Associated means related with cyclones. A system of wind circling around a center of lowest atmospheric pressure within the surrounding high pressure areas is called cyclone. Now, and there are two types of cyclone. First is tropical cyclone, another is temperate cyclone. Now what is the meaning of these cyclones? So cyclones formed in tropical areas are called tropical cyclone. Now cyclones in temperate zone, they are called temperate cyclone. Now since this atmospheric disturbance take place over the seas, the winds are moisture laden. Means these winds, they are containing some moisture. Now the greater the difference between the lower pressure and the center and the high pressure surrounding, the faster are the winds. Now here we can see two types of cyclone have been shown here. This is anticyclone and this is cyclone. You can easily see the difference. In anticyclone what is happening, that when it is going outside, okay, and between it is preparing having that high pressure. In cyclone what is happening, that when it is coming towards the center likewise. Okay. Now This when cyclone move towards the coast, they can attain the speed of 50 to 400 kilometer per hour. This is the speed of cyclone, and that can cover the area of diameter of 40 to 50 kilometers. Now, a cyclone causes heavy rainfall in the coastal areas, often resulting in flood. Coupled with fastly moving winds, they cause vast damage to the life and property also. Humidity. Humidity means that amount of water vapor present in air is called humidity. Here, the temperature is main factor determining humidity. Why? Because humidity varies, and because of this reason, humidity varies from place to place and time to time. Now, it is a very important climatic factor determining the rainfall that place on the earth may receive. It also varies from season to season. Now, during monsoon months, the humidity of air is generally high. In the plains, it becomes uncomfortable and oppressive. Uncomfortable, which is not comfortable to live or have or able to do any kind of work there in particular area. Oppressive means that is causing you to feel that it is very uncomfortable. Now, why this situation are there, condition are there? That is because of high proportion of moisture in the air. Precipitation. On account of unequal heating of land and water bodies, water vapor is added to the atmosphere. Now, I think you all have studied water cycle a lot time. Two names are there for that water cycle and hydrological cycle. Okay, few terms are there: evaporation, condensation, precipitation. I think you all have studied and you all are knowing it very well. But after that also I am explaining all these terms again. So, the process of transformation of liquid water into gaseous state is called evaporation. The process of conversion of water vapor into raindrops is called condensation. And that what happens, the tiny droplets of water that rise high into the atmosphere and they form clouds. Now, during this movement, some droplets joins together to make or to form bigger droplets or ice crystals if the air is very cold. Okay, now the bigger droplets or ice crystal, they falls on earth in the form of rainfall or snowfall. So, the falling of droplets of water or ice crystal, that is rain, hail or snow, they are jointly known as or called precipitation. The forms of precipitation are rainfall, hail, frozen pellets of ice mixed with rain, sleet and drizzle. Types of rainfall. Now, the rainfall can be classified in three types, that is on the basis of mechanism. Mechanism means the way in which something work is to be or something work is done. So, on the basis of mechanism, this rainfall can be divided into three types. First is convection, second is relief, third is cyclonic. First, we are going to explain is convection rainfall. In hot regions like equatorial region, the the sun's rays strike the earth at the almost vertical angle. Now we'll understand this with the help of this diagram. Here we can see what it is saying, that in hot region like equatorial region, the sun rays strike the earth at the almost vertical angle. Okay, this is called vertical. So likewise earth rays is coming, and what is happening down we are having heated land. So as sun rays that is coming down to the earth, there is the rising current of hot air or hot air, and that moisture landed, and that because of the presence of oceans in the latitude zone, as sunrise it is coming down on heated land, that heated air is going upside or moving in a vertical way. And as it is reaching to the cloud, here as reaching upside to the that cooled area, condensation starts. Now here at the process of condensation, this heat air will be cooled again, likewise, and rainfall will occur like this. Okay. Next rainfall is relief rainfall. Now relief, it is also called orographic rainfall. It occurs due to the presence of mountains on which the air to rise up. Now here in this diagram you can easily see one mountain is here. Now how this relief rain occurs, down here you can see sea level is there. From here condensation starts. Here this air will be moving, and as it is going upside, means as it is going in a vertical manner or in height, the temperature will decrease, and because of the decreased temperature, here the process of condensation will start, and as the condensation will be started, it will result in precipitation, and after that rainfall will be fall. Now you can say that upon rising it sheds some of the moisture, and due to the tendency of the moisture saturated air to shed excess moisture at the lower temperatures prevailing at greater heights. Same its meaning, that as from here that wind will blow, it is going upside, and as it is going upside, temperature will decrease. Because of the decreased temperature, that condensation process will start. After condensation, it will result in the precipitation. Precipitation means rainfall. Next and the last one is cyclonic rainfall. As we have already studied that in a cyclone, winds rush rapidly towards a calm center of low atmospheric pressure. It is also called depression. Now if the rising air is moisture landed, means if when that air is rising and it is having moisture, then heavy rainfall will occur, and that kind of rainfall is called cyclonic rainfall. Now let's understand with the help of diagram. Here you can see two kinds of air are there. Left side we are having moist warm air, and right side we are having dry cold air. Now from here, as this moist warm air, it is moving towards the dry cold air. What is happening here, as it is blowing from, air is moving towards the dry cold area, condensation process will be started here, and as droplets will be heavy, then it will result in precipitation or rainfall like this. So dear students, this was the last topic of this chapter and today's class. I hope you all have understood very nicely. If you are not able to understand any topic, any term, any definition, you can ask, and after this I will be going to share PDF question answers of this chapter 4 of geography. In next class we will start civics chapter. Okay, for that you have to read that chapter so that you can easily understand that chapter, because I have changed the pattern. I have started explaining chapter with the help of PPT, power presentation, so that you can enhance that, increase your interest towards the studies. Now the next chapter that we are going to start, that will be of civics, and that will be third chapter. Name of that chapter is the state government. Thank you, students.